All right, we're live.
All right, so I guess the first question is, who are the current leaders in the organization? And so that's for the Royal Australian Navy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We're doing the command, like the leaders right now are is it the CN and the CDF, or I'd say would be like the main leaders, and then they kind of have like all their leaders below them with the warrant officer, and then the MC, the deputy chief, the DCN, the NHQ, and
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of just laid it all out.
then then they're in charge of the 7 groups that pretty much make up make up their defense.
Mhm.
The 7 FEGs. Like I think those are. I mean, right now those are the leaders. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that.
Yeah, I don't know how this was supposed to be a conversation.
Okay, yeah. And you can just say for the current or what the old leadership ways, it was like the strict, simple hierarchy, and then they changed it to like the matrix structure, as they were saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, kind of a more proactive leadership, where more people are involved in leadership. More of because the old way was like a more stricter policy.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I didn't 100% understand like the new method that they were changing to. I know that they were saying that if someone higher up left, like it should be easy transition for someone to take their place. But I felt like it wasn't explained in detail. Like I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I felt like it was very vague how they were explaining how they're switching to that new style of leadership. Does that make sense?
So I remember a little
Yeah.
difficult. No.
Yeah, there's so much background noise in someone's.
Yeah.
Hello.
He muted.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I know in one of the paragraphs they were talking about how they were switching to the matrix system so that in times of an emergency that they would work together, versus there being more of a hierarchy. But I felt like it didn't really go into detail about it, and I was kind of expecting it to.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about on that. 'Cause
I'm trying
all
to
they did was just kind
find
of
it.
overview it. They just kind of overview it. They didn't really talk about like really
Yeah,
what kind of happens. Yeah, I was kind of unclear on that too.
right. Yeah, because I was like, well, to me that sounds like it would change who the leaders are when there's an emergency, but then it didn't explain how it would change. So I was like, oh, well, never mind. Maybe that chart is correct, and
'Cause
um, there's still a hierarchy.
yeah, because they also said like all they do is promote within now still. Like
Hmm.
that's the only way they can promote is within. So I don't know. I didn't know if I really necessarily agreed with that part of it.
Yeah.
I felt like there's like flexible leadership styles for depending on what environment it's in. So when it's like at certain times we'll need the more formal leadership and like kind of go back to the old way. But yeah,
Like in times
it
of
was a little confusing.
emergency. I don't know. And then there's like the soldiers, and then there are the civilians who are also part of it. And do they all kind of work together in times of an attack or something, but then other than that, they don't really work together? I don't
I
know.
think it was just saying whoever's whoever's the subject matter expert, regardless if they're a civilian or wear a uniform, like they need to step up if they're the expert in that field.
Yeah, 'cause they also
So it
include.
shouldn't. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They also included like the contractors too, like if the civilians or the soldiers can't help out, they have to go out like hire a third party
I did see that.
expertise. And I think they were like counting on them for them to step up, but I think that can be more different just because they want to be like familiar with the customs and everything. And like I don't think they'd be able to give them incentives like they are with the civilians and everyone else that's enlisted into their army.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of thought that was kind of a bigger problem with the structure of it.
Okay.
Well, next
So that
question.
second question,
The
who
future
should be the
leaders.
future leaders? Will they promote from within?
Should be everyone striving to be a leader?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone trying to improve themselves to be leaders? I would say that's kind of who the future leaders are, because if they're gonna have to promote within, it has to gonna be people within the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So
It should be people who stand by their behaviors, which are professionalism, courage, loyalty, honesty, and integrity, dedication, and commitment. And he said that if anyone does not believe that they can live by these values, be they uniformed or non-uniformed, men or women, then they have no place in the Navy. So I'm guessing those are like the core values that the future leaders should focus on.
yeah.
I guess specifically would be junior sailors and civilians. I'm reading the part that the grayed out part that the CN was stating somewhere. I don't remember where he's talking. And he said that all why can't I say this? Sailors and civilians exercise leadership in some form at some level, and the success of the Navy is dependent on the quality of its leadership. However, I look specifically to officers, warrant officers, and senior civilian officers to form the leadership team of the Navy. Junior sailors and civilians can, of course, look forward to becoming a member of this team as they gain experience and advance. So, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I thought I was gonna get a room to myself, but I apparently didn't.
Sorry, Max. Did you hear most of that?
Yeah, I got most. I'm recording it, so if I didn't, I heard most of it, but I'm just gonna replay it before I do the recording. So, anything else?
I'm like skimming the article.
I know, that's kind of.
Or the case study. It's lengthy.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I kind of found like this would be difficult. I saw this in the article. It said the naval personnel is going to have two kinds of behavior to exhibit, which is sometimes would be expected to obey without question, but then they would have to also be able to cooperate with with teamwork, and then be able to have ideas and everything. So it seems like if like the leader suggested one plan of action, like it seemed like everyone would obey, but someone seemed like they had a better, like how would they collaborate if someone like felt like they had a better plan than them.
So if we had to choose like one of the leadership paradigms that this would apply towards, which one do you think it would be?
I think the more organic because everyone has to be self-sufficient, self-managing.
I agree. But I felt like it depends on the situation too.
Yeah, definitely. For like the
so-
peaceful times, the
Yeah.
normal, everyday times.
Yeah. I was kind of flip-flopping between transactional and organic. But I guess it could be a little bit of classical too, since that's based on power and command and
Hmm.
control.
Yeah, kind of like a little mixture of both, with like
Mhm.
classic and organic.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't see why not.
Kind of seems like the overview would kind of be more classic, then kind of when you're more like in depth would be more of an organic view to it.
Hmm.
So do we want to kind of combine those, like make that ours?
Wait, what?
Like you said, classical and organic. Do we want to put like is that what we want to answer? We want to answer a combination of both.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Yeah, I think that was just. It doesn't really answer either one of the questions.
Yeah, we were just kind of talking.
Just wondering. Because I'm not quite sure how long
That's
it's
all right.
supposed to be. Yeah, I think we already answered the 2 discussion questions. There wasn't too much to discuss.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
no, I didn't feel like I don't know. These are kind of. It's just 2 questions. I didn't think it was.
Is it a trick? Question.
Yeah, if
So-
that's what we want to go with. I'll make the recording. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So just again, Wednesday next week.
Wait,
at-
sorry. Am I off a week? So who goes next week for the recording?
Yeah, well, Max, I thought I was gonna go this week, but Max started. I'll just do it next week.
Oh,
Okay, I'm just
I
making
thought
Me
sure.
and Max will-
next week.
sorry.
Cool.
We-
I think I was still counting your last week as counting. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys switch
you'll go
Um,
next week.
Yeah, I'll just do it next week.
All right.
at
Perfect.
5:00. Thank you guys. And then you're gonna submit on the whatever VMO. I'm never used
I'm
that.
gonna figure it out by tomorrow or tonight. Yeah.
I think you
Confused 'cause
just.
She also said we could use YouTube somewhere.
Really? I didn't see that.
Well, I think you can.
it's on
You can just do a Google Hangout on Air, then you can save it to your Google Drive and upload it through Vimeo. Because I was checking that out.
Okay. Yeah. I just have to take a look at it tonight.
Yeah. I'll think.
Why does it say for the team discussion question, our post is due today, and then comments and feedbacks due on the 6th?
Oh.
I think with
Well,
the
you have
view.
to reply to other.
Yeah, you have to
Okay.
comment. So you have to reply to the first original discussion question, and then after that, you just reply to 2 other people's discussion questions. Say like, yeah, I agree with you for this.
I
this,
thought there's
this.
Aren't
Or
there
I
only
don't
2
agree with
teams?
you for this, this,
There
this.
are only 2 teams.
So
How did I missing all this? So for the written discussion questions and the team discussion questions, we have to reply, like 2 replies
Mm-hmm.
for both?
but
I
there's
don't
only,
know how we
yeah,
can do 2 replies for the other team. I don't.
Yeah, I'm
Do we reply as a team or as an individual?
Both.
go as an
Gosh, where did it
individual.
say? Because we have to watch at least 2 summaries and provide the learning team with feedback for their video.
So I
There's
would guess
only one
that's
other team.
as our individual. I would guess.
Yeah, just go with that just to make sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out after this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every one of these classes just seems to be a little bit different.
Yeah,
I know.
definitely.
Like we use Google Hangouts forever and Google everything, and now Vimeo's.
Yeah, just random Vimeo just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. Why can't we just upload a Google Hangout?
Yeah, I feel like the teachers don't talk to each other. They just kind of do their own thing.
Or what if we just had one teacher the entire time?
Professor Gates.
What, Chuck?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Professor Gates.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh man.
That class was just, I felt like we just came in so that he could bring up random topics for us.
Pretty much.
I think he just wants to socialize with everyone.
I think that's
He's lonely.
legitimately what the whole class was. He just needs people to talk to, and we just happen to be there and have to listen to him.
And talk about how great retirement is and all that.
Yeah. Okay, well, so what time are we meeting next week again?
5
But
on Wednesday.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you guys.
Yep, no
no
problem.
problem.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Well, I'll get it all recorded, and I'll send it to each of you before I upload it, just to make sure.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Sound good?
All right, see you guys.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.